Custom alerts are an awesome way to personalize your live stream. You can easily do a very simple stream that looks absolutely amazing just because you're using a couple of very simple custom alerts. And they're so easy to create and use, and you can do it totally free. Hello my YouTube friends, today I want to walk you through how to create your own custom live streaming alerts. We're going to use all free tools for this as well. We're going to start with Davinci Resolve, a free editing tool that you can use to edit your videos, or like we're going to do today, create custom alerts. There is a link in the description so you can check it out. So you know what? Let's get to it! Okay, so here we are in Davinci Resolve and we're going to create a new project. And of course you can call your project whatever you like. Once you've finished naming your project, you just click create. And here we're going to go up to file, and then we're going to go to project settings, and we just want to make sure that our project settings are the same as our stream. In my case, 1920 by 1080 and 30 frames per second, and click save. Now we're going to go over into the edit mode, and we're going to come up to the top, and we're going to go to our media pool, and we're going to drag our alert in there. Now I created this alert. It is just me on a green screen doing some pointing and stuff. You don't have to have a green screen to do this, but I'm going to show you how to do it with a green screen. You can use any clip you want. Then we just drag it down into the timeline, and I do not need the audio from this, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it from the clip. Now I'm going to go ahead and edit up the beginning and the end to clip it so it comes in and goes out where I want this clip to begin and end. And that's as simple as putting my playhead where I want it and then dragging over the clip. So now we have just the segment that I want. It is right about 13 seconds. Seems like about the perfect length for a good alert. Next, I'm going to go ahead and select the clip and go over here to the right and adjust the clip in a couple of different ways. First, I notice that I'm pointing the incorrect direction. So what I'm going to do is select flip here to flip the clip around. The next thing I'm going to do is go down here and click on the color tab, and I'm going to select the color picker, and we're going to select our green color for our background. Then we're going to go down here to the bottom and we're going to invert our selection. As you can see in that little screen on the top right, it shows that that removed me from the image, and we want to remove the green from the image. So all we have to do is click this button right here to invert it. Now you'll see that I'm there and the green turns kind of to the gray color. Then we're going to right click on here and we're going to select add alpha output, and we're going to connect this blue dot to this blue dot, and now we can see some black appear in our background. So we just have to adjust our matte, and we're going to do that by adjusting some of these little control lines right here, and these can be a little bit fiddly to work with, but once you figure it out, you'll be able to work it out. Now I'm going to go up here in the top left hand corner, which is the only real amount of green that's left over, and we're going to color pick that again. And you'll notice that it kind of changes everything up, but now we can adjust it in such a way that we can remove all of the green or a very large percentage of it, and that is really what we're looking to do, to remove as much of this green as we possibly can so that we have a completely blank background. And this requires you to kind of fiddle around with this, and you're going to notice that there is some edging around me that is green, and my lighting causes the green to bounce, and that's going to be something that's going to be very difficult to get rid of. But we're going to do the best we can by selecting some of the items over here in the matte, and we're going to adjust them to try to get rid of as much of the green as we possibly can. And once again, in this case, it's kind of just a matter of fiddling around with these numbers. Some of them don't do a whole lot, or don't seem to do a whole lot until you really push them. And then you'll end up removing more and more of the green matte from the background. And that's really what we're looking to do. So we want to remove as much of it as we can just by fiddling around with all of this stuff. And we're not going to be able to remove all of it, but the plan is to remove as much of it as we possibly can. So once we get to a result with removing the green screen that we are happy with, we're all ready to go ahead and export this file directly from here. So all we need to do in that case is click on the little rocket ship down here in the bottom right hand corner so we can export our little clip here. Here's our export screen. We're going to want to go ahead and name our file, and of course you can name your alert whatever you want to. I'm going to name it Alert Alpha. Then we're going to browse to the proper location where we want to save our file. And our format is going to be QuickTime. We're going to go ahead and drop down the codec and select uncompressed. Then we're going to drop down the type and we're going to select BGRA 8-bit. The A is for alpha, and we want to go ahead and make sure that we check export alpha, and we want to be sure that our resolution is 1920 by 1080 and 30 frames per second, or whatever the resolution and frame rate is for your live stream. Once we do that, all we need to do is add it to the render queue and export it, and it will take just a moment to export out this clip. The last step is we're going to use the shutter encoder. It's totally free. It's going to transform our little video into something that's much smaller and easier to use. It's really simple. There's a link in the description so you can go ahead and download it, check it out for yourself. And we're gonna just drag our clip right onto the space here. Then we're going to drop this down and select VP9 as our format. And I'm going to select advanced features, and I want to make sure that enable alpha channel is selected. Then I'm going to go ahead and just click start function. And after a few moments, it will create our WebM file, and we're ready to go ahead and move on to the next step. Now we have our alert, we're going to use Stream Elements to set it up. Stream Elements is a free tool for adding alerts to your live streams. Of course, there's a link in the description so you can check it out. Likes and comments are super easy things that you can do to help push this video to a wider audience. So take a second down below and let me know how I'm doing. And while you're there, if you're not subscribed, please do. It really does help me continue to make content that helps you. So thanks. To set up our alerts, we're going to use Stream Elements. It's totally free. You have to set up a login for the platform that you plan to stream for. In my case, it's YouTube. Once you set it up, you come in here and you're going to want to go to My Overlays. And this is where we're going to set up an overlay. We're just going to click New Overlay. Here you're going to want to set it up for the resolution that you're streaming at. You can drop this down and select whatever one it is. In my case, it's 1080p. And then just click Start. And if I zoom this out, you can see there is the 1080p square. I'm going to go up to the top and go ahead and name the overlay. And we'll just call this Custom Widget. And then I'm going to go over here and click Add Widget. I'm going to go to the alerts and create an alert box. You can see this creates a subscriber alert, member alert, super chat alert, tip alert, and a purchase alert. We are not going to use the purchase alert, so I'm just going to turn that off. And we're going to get started setting these up with the subscriber alert. We'll just click this little gear button and we're going to click Change Video. Then we're going to go over here to the top right of this window and select Upload. And we're just going to drag our alert that we just created on here. We want to make sure that we get the WebM one. It is a nice tiny format. And then we just have to hover over that and select Submit. And now that is our alert video. So now we can see the alert box. We can just drag this over wherever we want, but if we click the subscriber event, there you see our alert showing up and it has our text below. So we want to go over here to the left and select this button. It will put our text to the one side of us. There we go. Now when we run our alert, we can see we're pointing in the direction of the text. That looks pretty good. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to go down here into animation settings and we're going to go up here to the top and I'm just going to scroll down and select fade in, and I'm going to also select fade out, and then I'm going to add 1 second to each of these so that it fades in and fades out for 1 second. And then when we click our subscriber event, you can see it fades in there and it's going to point and all that stuff. And I think what's going to happen here is it's going to fade out before my alert is actually finished because it is longer than 10 seconds. So we're going to click here and then we're going to go and change this 10-second mark here to 12 seconds. The alert is actually 13 seconds, but the fade out will cover over that. So now when we hit our subscriber event again, it will fade in at the beginning. We're pointing towards our letters, giving the thumbs up, doing all the things. And then it will fade out right as we are turning away again. Perfect. So now I just want to go down here into our text settings and I'm going to click this and that bumps our text over a little bit closer to us. Now in this text one, we can change our fonts, we can change our font size, we can even go into advanced and completely change the location that we want the text to show up if we want. There are all kinds of awesome things that you can do with this. I'm just showing you the basics of how it works today, but just be aware that all of these things can be changed or modified to any way that you want to suit your particular alerts. Now when we click our subscriber event, everything is happening the way we want it to happen. That's fantastic. So now we have our subscriber event all set up. What we want to do is just move this box down to wherever we want. Now you can see that I can go ahead and expand the box, make the box smaller. It doesn't really change the size of the alert. We're gonna have to do that in OBS, but we're gonna just go ahead and place this down in the bottom right hand corner. And now our subscriber alert is completely finished and ready to go. So now all we need to do is X out at the top here and go into each of our other alerts and set them up. So we're going to hit the gear here for member alert, and if I go ahead and run a member alert, you're going to see that that one is still the old one. It is just the standard one. So we're going to click change video. We're going to go ahead and select our alert that we created. So we're going to go ahead and change our alert so it's 12 seconds, and we're going to go and add our animation fade in and fade out, and we're going to add our 1 second for our fade in and fade out, and we're going to go into text and bump it over a little bit towards us. And when we run our member alert, we can see that we forgot to set up the location of our text. So we're going to go back here and we're going to select this one, and there we go. So now our second alert, our member alert, is all set up properly. We can just click the X up here, and we're going to move on to the next alert, and that's the super chat alert. So we're going to go ahead and change our video, click submit. We're going to go down here and make this 12 seconds. We're going to adjust the location of our text. We're going to add our animation settings in here. So we're going to add our fade in and fade out. We're going to put our 1 second in here, and we're going to go ahead and test this and see. There we go. Our super chat event looks like it's working properly. So we're going to click out of that, and we're going to go and do our tip alert event. It's exactly the same process. We're going to click submit on our image. We're going to move our text. We're going to add the 12 seconds. We're going to go ahead and add our fade in and fade out. Add the 1 second to the fade in and the fade out. And we can run our tip event, see what it looks like. And I think we want to bump our text in a little bit here. So we're going to click the down arrow right there. We're going to go to text settings. We're going to left adjust it. That looks better. And we can go and make sure that all of our text is left adjusted by going in here, and we're going to left adjust that. And there we go. And we'll just check one more time to make sure the members text is set all the way to the left. And now it looks like all of our events or alerts are perfectly set up. All we have to do is add these into our OBS. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead and click save, and then you want to click on this little link icon right here once you have it saved. All we need to do, and I'm using a scene from my usual tutorial live screen that I use on my live stream, and you can, generally speaking, use lots of different methods to put your alerts on screen, but I'm going to just show you how to add it into each scene. So in this particular case, we'll click the plus. We're going to go to browser source, and I'm just going to type in alerts. Then I'm going to click OK, and I'm just going to paste in that link that we already got. I'm going to put 1920 by 1080 in here. And if we want to use the audio that comes from the alert, we're going to put control audio via OBS. That means that the audio that's in the alert is going to come through, and click OK. And now we're all set to use our alert. Then we'll go into subscriber event, and there we go. Now we can see our subscriber event is happening right there. So all we need to do to adjust it is go ahead and adjust the size of our box here, and we'll go ahead and click on our subscriber event, and there we go. We can move this to wherever we want it on the screen. Now, like I said, you can adjust the color and all that stuff, and you just kind of put this wherever you want. And we'll go over here to scene 4. What I'm going to do is go ahead and add the alert again. You can just click the plus, go to browser. You know your alert's already going to be here. Click OK. Now we'll set it off. And we'll do a tip event. And there it is. So what we want to do is embiggen it. And we'll put it right here. There we go. And we can make it even bigger. Do a tip event again. There we go. Bring it up here. So we can place it wherever we want on the screen. We just need to place it in the scene wherever we want it. Make it bigger, make it smaller, however we want to place it. And now we have a pretty awesome custom alert in every scene that we decide we want it in. Now, like I said, the downstream keyer is a great way to just add this one time and then activate it, and it will go over top of any scene you want. But sometimes that's just not something that you can do. So we just go to browser and go and select alerts, and it's really that simple. We can put these alerts wherever we want. So we're going to be over in this direction area here. Make it bigger. We'll just cause them to go off. And then we just need to resize them, put them wherever we want them, and we can make these as big or as small as we want. Pretty simple, cool, easy, clean alert that anyone can do with a simple green screen and free Davinci Resolve software. And you can do this with any sort of animation. There's just so many cool things that you can do with custom alerts, and now you understand how to set them up and use them. Pretty awesome. Super easy. What sort of alerts would you like to see how to create? If you want to see how to create a full stream using OBS, you should check this video out. Big thanks to the sponsors that support this channel. You can find their links down below in the description under the heading sponsors. I couldn't possibly do this without them or you. So thanks. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fire Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.